Hello everyone. Happy Wednesday. Just giving a few minutes for everyone to join us. I finally put a phone alarm on, so I know it's Wednesday. It's not like I forget, but I always, I never know what day of the week it is, because every day is just the same day. Wake up in the morning, feed animals, do a bunch of things during the day, then feed animals, then go to bed. So, hope everyone's having a good afternoon. It's been very weird weather here. It's warm out, but it's not like overly warm the way I thought it was going to be. I think that we're experiencing someone told me it was the Ontario fires, because it's been a very odd sky. It's cloudy, but it's an orange cloudy, and which is nice because it's kind of cooled off quite a bit. We've had a few very, very hot days, but I have in the barn I set up the barn so the animals are very comfortable. Of course, I was not very comfortable lugging and carrying the fans all around, but all the animals are, we have one fan that just died, so I'm down a fan. I was going to try to take a trip to Home Depot to pick up a few things tomorrow. We had one fan that died, and but everybody has a fan on them, and the animals tend to stay inside the barn during the day, not necessarily in the arena. In the arena is one big gigantic fan off to the side, so you probably hear it. Oh, you don't hear it. But it's off to the side by the tub, and it just blows right by the tub where they're eating. And not only does the fan blow away the hot air, but it keeps them a little bit cooler, but it blows away the flies too. In the horse stalls and in the 3 horse stalls, there's also fans, and then there's a fan in the rabbit and chicken area, and that's the fan that died. So it didn't actually die. It looked like something chewed it, and I retired the fan to the metal man because I was afraid. It was a really nice metal fan, but even though it was probably going to be fine, but I don't tolerate any exposed, like it looked like something had chewed the wire, and I don't want to have a fire in the barn. So I retired that fan to the metal guy because he was here, and I'm going to go out and get another fan. I'll give you an update of all the things that are broken this week. The fence broke on Sunday, and as many of you guys know, I repaired. Actually, I didn't. I did a lot of. I had Bao. Many of you see Bao here working. He's Wallace's father. He did a lot of the fence work. I've also had Adriano. He's done a lot of the fence work. We put in new fences. I've replaced all of the fences that were taken away when Goldy's when Service Dog Project left, and I replaced them all with wood and wire fencing, which can hold everything in and keep everything out, with the exception of the fox that's been jumping in and out. But that's another problem. Remember, problems on top of problems. And I replaced it just about everywhere. So right now, as I sit here today, the entire property is enclosed in a wire fence, so things can't wander down the driveway as long as the gate's closed. I've got a few more pieces of gates that need to get put in and secured, but the one area that I didn't fix, because it has a 6-foot fence, and it's got metal posts way up in the back that the horses really go, and I thought, well, it'll be a rainy day when I have extra money, I'll replace it. And I although some of the posts, their metal posts were kind of wobbly, it looked like it would, it had a few more years left in it. But as usual, I was wrong. Chester discovered that the some of the posts were wobbly too, and I guess he's been working on it for a while. But he finally led the charge, and he and Sunshine bent one of the wire posts over, and somehow, even though he's afraid to jump a ditch, he's afraid of his own shadow, they managed to jump over the remaining wire fence and trot down I don't know how they're about 2 miles away on Saturday morning. No, that was Sunday morning. And unfortunately, well, here's the other thing that's happened last week. I got sick. I think I might have had that thing that everybody's talking about. I don't know. It was a pretty bad one. I got sick on Tuesday. I had a lot of sharp stomach pains on Tuesday. I managed to rally. I did the jobs and did the animals, and I just didn't feel good all day. And I still was a little bit off for a couple days, but I was still making it through. But was it Friday? I went to go pick up the pig. I didn't feel too good when I went to go pick up the pig, but got the pig home and went to bed, and boy, did I have quite a night. I was curled up on the floor for most of it in the bathroom. I thought I was going to die. Things were coming out. Everything on the inside wanted to be on the outside. Let's just say that. So that was all day Saturday, and I slept all day Saturday. I had such a bad headache that I really could not even move. So I had to call Michelle on an emergency to say, can you help me feed? There's hardly ever the only thing that will really take me out from feeding the animals if it's my responsibility. There's nothing that would take me out. If it was my responsibility and they were going to go hungry, I would have gotten up with a headache and thrown up along the way, but I would have gotten it done. But I would have managed to get it done somehow. But I did have backups, so Elizabeth and Michelle, and I had a chain of people that I could call. So my first call was to Michelle, who brought me over some ginger ale, and she fed the horses on Saturday morning. And I went back to bed, and you're not going to believe this, I slept until 4 p.m. And then I managed to get up and get the horses fed. And I realized sleeping till 4, I woke up a couple times, but I literally in the middle of the night, I tried drinking a sip of water, and I threw up a sip of water. There was nothing that was staying down. But I managed to get the horses fed on Saturday night. It took me about 2 hours at a snail's pace, but I got it done. And then I decided, well, okay, I was able to drink water and things were staying down. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to be up all night. So I took 2 gigantic capfuls of NyQuil. And I always say when you drink NyQuil, you should be in your night clothes next to your bed because it's out like a light. And that was probably around 9 o'clock. And I slept till 9 o'clock the next morning. And the only thing that woke me up was the hoof beats of the horses coming down the driveway. But they were coming back. They had gone out the back, so I didn't even hear them. There was nothing to hear on the way out. But and I had my phone. My phone for some reason doesn't always ring. It didn't ring. People had called me and said that there were loose horses, but I didn't. I was sleeping. So fortunately, they also called Elizabeth, and Elizabeth managed to go get them with the policeman and bring them home, the naughty horses. And then the team, go Goldies. The team was great. Ba was there in the morning and pulled up a lot of the weak fences and fixed the back. So we've got a couple more years. I'm going to replace all the posts up there, but we got a couple more years of holding that fence. It's not just the fence that holds, because everything's out together in a herd. And but fortunately, it's so way back in the paddock that the donkeys they're not going to go up there. Just the horses exploring new ways to get loose. And as many of you know, Chester is an escape artist. I can't even believe how smart I always call him my special needs horse, because as many of you know, Chester, I got him as a 3-year-old, and he'd already been driven by the Amish. Something happened in the cart, and he had a cart accident, and I think it loosened his brain, because he's really quite very reactive. He can eat out of his mailbox, out of his mail. He can eat out of his grain bucket one day and then be afraid of it the next day. So it's usually I always thought he was not very smart, but it turns out that he can figure out how to open anything, and as he's growing into himself, he's very intelligent, and he's really, probably one of the smarter horses. He can open just about any latch. he just keeps working. Like if I take a rope and I tie it around there, he just keeps working on that rope and working on that rope, and then he'll finally get the rope untied, and then he starts working on the latch, and he just keeps working on it and working on it and working on it. Then he'll get the latch, and out he goes. And Sunshine's right behind him, like, go, Chester, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. People keep asking me what I ate. I eat a lot of fruit and vegetables. I did get and because I try to be 75% vegetarian and the 25% just naughty. I'll eat anything. So I went to Costco a couple days earlier, and I'd gotten one of those raspberry things full of black raspberries, and I use those to make shakes. Sometimes they make shakes out of spinach. And so I had raspberries in my yogurt, and then I had spinach in my shake. So I'm thinking it might have been that which caused me to be sick. If it was that thing that everybody's, I can't remember what it begins with. Yeah, that thing that everybody's talking about, that everybody has. It's awful. So yes. And I'm reading these are the, Chester's the lighter one, Sunshine, and he's the boy. Sunshine's the girl. She's a little bit smaller than he is. So yes, so the horses all got loose, and that was really bad. But it seems like everybody, the policemen that came back, they were delightful. Elizabeth had a good time. They walked them back. And the policeman really loved horses and had grown up with horses and hadn't had a chance to be around horses in a long time. So he was pretty happy. They toured the barn. They met Elvis, seemed to have a good time. My mother was happy to see them come up the driveway. She always loves a good interaction with the local authorities. Yay. So that was that. Managed to break the tractor so that, not the big tractor, the lawnmower. So only, somehow I take the lawn tractor in places that lawn tractors shouldn't go. So I do a lot of trail clearing. I just drive through. As long as there's no rocks and big logs, I just drive through the woods. And so I have the same problem with my lawn tractor. They're both down in South Carolina. I have a John Deere, and up here we have a lawnmower that's a John Deere. And I swear to God, I go right through the woods with that thing. And it makes a nice path if you don't get stuck on stuff. And if you get stuck on stuff, you just get off and get somebody to help you push it off, and you keep going. And you might have to replace the blades, but it does a good job clearing. I'm talking as loud as I can. I think most people can hear me okay. So I'm sorry if ever I'm reading now that other people are having issues with their stomach as well. So I don't know if it's something that's going on or it's that thing that people talk about. But as of Monday morning, I was back on the game. So Sunday after I woke up and had the excitement of all the horses, I was out doing, fixing fence and picking up rocks with Bao. I was back to normal. One thing I am doing is Benoit seems to think that I'm dehydrated. I don't drink enough water. So I am actually, my water bottles I've got myself a water bottle for the first time. Actually, it's a funny story about the water bottle. Because I think Goldy's, I always blame everything on Goldy's, but it was probably when I was at, the day that I went to Walmart, I went to Costco, I stopped by Walmart to get something, I can't remember what, something. And, I went there to look at fans, but they have cheap fans that would fall apart, so I didn't get one. But I bought a few other things because you can't go into Walmart. I went in there just to find fans, and I don't know. I came out with a bunch of stuff, including little Goldy's t-shirts. I got these little things, nice little. These were $2, so I got a bunch of them. Stuff that I don't know why I bought, but anyways. And I put it all in my cart, and sometimes I leave my cart if I'm going down an aisle. Sometimes I leave my cart at the end of the aisle where it's out of the way, so I don't have to bring it down an aisle and just grab something. And I must have taken somebody else's cart because I went to check out, got all the way to my car, unloading everything, and there's a water bottle in my cart. And I was like, I don't carry water bottles. I just drink out of the hose because I'm old school like that. I'm probably full of the PFAS. I keep itching because I also have poison ivy. Yay me, life is looking up. And this water bottle, which I'd show you, but it's holding up my phone, it's about this tall, and it tells you how much water you're supposed to be drinking every hour. And this was probably Friday, and the day that I was in the process of buying vegetables to make myself sick. And it tells you what you're supposed to drink every hour, and then and you're supposed to do 2 of these a day. And so I tried to go back, and I'm like, "Is anyone looking for a water bottle?" And they said no. So I'm holding the water bottle. I'm like, "Well, I'll just go home, wash it, and clean it, and now I will make sure I drink all the water." I'm like, "Yeah, right. Like I'm never going to do that." So then I've decided that part of my illness that I've been, because I get a lot of headaches, like weird migraine headaches. It might be because the theory seems to be that I work too hard in the sun and I don't drink enough water. So I'm now carrying around a water bottle, and it's like Goldy knew that was my problem with my headaches. So she gave me this thing that tells me exactly how much water I should drink every day, which is great. I've been drinking 2 of those every day, and I pee. Today we did a job at Aspen Hill in Haverhill. We were there for a while, probably about an hour. I peed twice, yeah. So, but luckily I had Justin with me, so I didn't have, the day before I was at Brentwood, and again, I had drank 2 of those things, and I had to pee twice at Brentwood. I was there for a much longer period of time, and I had to bring all the dogs into this little tiny bathroom with me, but that's okay. So where I was talking about all the things I broke. So I broke the tractor, the fence got broken, and then the blower for the aisleway of the barn, which is really, and I use this very nice electronic blower for the aisleway of the barn and for the driveway, and that seems to have died too. So yeah, so those are the things that so I have to sweep the floor now, and there's no way I'm sweeping the driveway because it's 800 feet long. But we do have the weed whacker is not starting for some reason. I can't find the charger for the electric weed whacker, and the gas weed whacker won't start. So yeah, that's the extent of where we're at with Goldy's farm. But we're still charging forward. Things are going great. From what Cloud has said, we've reached over 4,000 people so far this year, which is really great news. On the past 2 years, we've seen about 7,000 per year, and we are exceeding that. And it's not like it's a numbers game for us. I'd like to have it as a metrics, just to keep tabs on where we're at and make sure that we're fulfilling our mission. And so far, we are exceeding it again. If you look at the calendar from 2024 to 2026, if you just look at where we are, all of the jobs that we did, because the calendar, we put all the jobs in the calendar, and we've been doing that for years. So I can look back at 2024, and there's a few. This one is in 2026. We're booked every day, and including a lot of days we have jobs in the afternoon. So that's good. I'll talk about Percy in a minute. So covered everything I broke this week. And the jobs this week, we had Monday. Where did we go on Monday? We went to the Jeffrey Brutnick Center in Peabody, and we saw a lot of people. We saw 2 floors of people. Did a little bit of bed to bed. Justin went with Mandy, and we brought the dogs and Percy, and he was fantastic. He's really, really great on jobs. He just kind of waddles along behind, and he goes right, at the end of the job. He got just a little bit oinky at the end, and I realized we had been there for an hour, at least an hour and a half, because it was just a lot of people. And, some days we just take our time, especially when Justin's there. We seem to slow. When it's me, I'm always like, I got things to do. But Justin he's so laid back and just kind of slows us down, and we end up talking and here and hanging out, and it's good because it allows us to get to know people. But we were there for a long time, and I think Percy had to pee, and all of a sudden I'm like, I think he's got to pee. So I brought him outside, and he peed and when he pees for a long time. But he just stood there and peed, and then he was like, okay, he's good now. So we had that on Monday got back, and then we had the North Shore Collaborative group that came. One of my favorite people is George, who's a quadriplegic. He came, and they had a couple other people with them. They come every other week, so they won't be here next week. And then we had, as I mentioned, Brentwood yesterday, and that's in Peabody. And today we had Aspen Rehab, and that was a good group today. I went by myself yesterday. I met a 99-year-old woman. I just kind of wandered around with the dogs. Met a 99-year-old woman. Her name is Grace. She was really thrilled to meet the animals. She said that so it's nice. I recognize as part of the job is my job is to try to talk to people, which many of you know I'm kind of an introvert. So although it doesn't seem like I am, but I prefer to be a little isolated. But so I put on my Judy hat and I become very sociable. And she said that she used to swim in the Charles River every day, and she believes that all of the exposure she's had to the chemicals in the Charles River is why she's 99. She was not in a wheelchair. She was walking around, got her skin look better than mine. So I was really shocked to find she was 99 years old. I had to confirm it with when I left. I asked the activities director who was walking around with me, is she really 99? Because I'm going to go start swimming in the Charles. So tomorrow we have, tomorrow is 2 o'clock. We've got Forest, 96 Forest Street. It's Pilgrim. And then Friday, Aspen Rehab, which I went today. They have 2 floors, and I've tried to train them 100 times to, when we go there, because it's about a half an hour drive, that we should go to see both floors in the same day, so we don't have to go. They usually book Wednesday for one floor, Friday for the other floor. So I went in there and I'm like, we're not coming back on Friday. We're going to see everybody today. So we did that, and it worked out really well, and they're happy. So tomorrow or Friday we don't have any jobs on Friday. I could we could fill it with some of the like seasons, or I was going to see if I could fill it with somebody else, or just take the date off. But we may try to fill it with somebody there's been a couple people that have had tough time finding spaces in the calendar because we're booked. So I was going to see if now that I've confirmed that we don't have to go back, I'm going to make some calls tomorrow, see if we can run by and visit a nursing home on Friday. So that catches us up. I spent the day removing all the manure because there's a bunch of stuff that needs to get done on the farm. This is a working farm, so fences have to be fixed, things need to get done, and manure is constant. I take at least 2 gigantic wheelbarrows. If anybody's ever watched me in the morning, 2 gigantic wheelbarrows, one in the morning, one at night, and because it keeps the flies down. Not only is it neater, and me, I'm a little OCD, and I like things clean and neat. I get anxious when it's not, but it keeps the flies down. So I'm very diligent about doing that. But it makes a huge pile very quickly, and so I put it all into the dump trailer and take it off to the into the place that it's called Brick Ends Farm, and you dump your manure there, they grind it all up and make it into topsoil, and you can buy it back and plant it. But let's see, she's saying, I know Jerry Shields is trying, but they told her that her farm is too small. Jerry, who's Jerry? Let's see. Her buddy is not big enough, so it's hard to understand. She's a dose of... Okay, so I don't know what you're talking about with Jerry, but if they're trying... small for what? Okay, so I'll read through the comments and see what you're talking about with Jerry. There have been a few people that have reached out to me, like wanting to bring children to Goldy's farm, and I always try to politely say that no, because our mission is seniors. If it's a veteran and it's then I'd be willing to allow them to come, because every time somebody comes up the farm, one of us has got to walk around with them and help, and we just don't have the staff for it. And a lot of it's I'm trying to keep the cost down, so a lot of it's falling on me, and trying to do as much as I possibly can, and so it's a bandwidth problem. So I don't want to have unless it's it's really hard to say in email. I'm like, well, you need to be really old, and I've argued with people. They're like, I'm 70. Well, that's but they're healthy and they want to bring 5 grandchildren that are healthy too. And I'm like, well, you need to be old, or your kids need to be disabled, or you need to be a veteran. So, that's so I've had to say no. And I don't like to say no to anybody, but that's kind of the. It's just I don't have time. I don't have time. So we have so much going on all the time. Grants. I have not done grants recently. I've started because I have a new project that I'd like to announce today. I've been working on it for a little while, but it's not like I'm ignoring grants. I did create the flyer that we're giving to all of the nursing homes, probably starting in about a week when they arrive from Vistaprint, because they're all in the. I created a flyer thanks to AI, and then I edited it, and I sent it off to be printed. So that's your works towards getting. Oh, Jerry and I were talking about. Oh, that's okay. So, I have a flyer. So when I go visit nursing homes, I give it to them and I say, it's up to you if you want to give us a donation for what we do. Because a lot of them, some of them are nice. Like that place that we went on Monday, that woman would give us a donation if I asked her. So I'm now going to just say it's up to you. In my past, I've done that when I ran the Equine Rescue Network as a fundraiser. A lot of times, if you ask the right people and you don't give them an amount, if I ask for $25, I'm going to get $25. If I say, if you've seen what we've done and you know how that is important to your seniors at your nursing home. We do this 5 days a week, and we're free to everybody. So if you want to give us a donation, you're not just donating so that we'll come back and continue visiting your home, but all of those places that have no activities director and no budget for activities, we're going there too. So your money will cover help cover operations for other nursing homes, and they get that immediately. So I think that'll be a big plus, and people will start donating more. Like the nursing homes will donate more. And there's places that we've been going to for 5 years, and there's no one that would complain about what we do. Everybody loves and sees how important what we do is. And I try to show that in pictures. I'm really terrible about. I take a lot of pictures. I don't always remember to post them, but I have some pictures from today too. So there's that. Betsy did not make this necklace, but she makes a similar necklace. So you should talk to Betsy Frost. She's got a lot of nice jewelry. But I like this. I've tried to get her to make a necklace exactly like this, but she makes one similar with it. I like it. So she has a lot of little horsey things that I like. Okay, so that covers all that. Oh, so my idea, and then we'll get to Person Pig. And my latest idea. So many of you remember about 2 weeks ago, I had a group over. It was really a pilot. I had a group of people. They were they were volunteers that helped us early on in, back in January 2024 when we first started cleaning out the the property, and it was, I go back to my pictures in my phone of January 2024, and my stomach turns. That's to clean up the mess that was here in 2024 was just catastrophic amount of mess. And these people, some of them, there were a lot of them were my long-term friends that just came up for a couple whenever they had time. Diana, Eric, Tori. They came and as a little bit of an appreciation, and they've come throughout the past couple of years to help out here and there, which is really nice. Diana does some pictures for us, and but I wanted to try a pilot where to test Justin's ability to cook food. So I went to Costco. I bought steak tips and a tuna steak and stuff to make a a summer salad, like a summer ricey salad thing, and gave him some recipes, and got dessert, and said, you go figure all this out. And then on top of it, and this is at my expense, not Goldy's farm, because this is his pilot. And then on top of it, I asked Benoit, who's boat guy, and Benoit works for the Broad Institute. He has his doctorate in biology, and a lot of you guys know him as the boat captain, but he's got a career in genetics, and he also coincidentally owns a wine business on the side because he's French. And so his wine business is called Petite Vin, and he's a wine distributor. So I asked him to bring a bunch of wines and kind of do like a, these people are interested in wine. I'm not, but I drink cheap wine. And they're interested in wine. So he brought like this, this big bag, and he can get very, very expensive wine at a discounted rate, I guess, a distributor rate. So we brought some wine. We all did a little, tasting this, and he talked about the regions, and those who were interested in wine really enjoyed it. And the night was, it was nice. It was really a well-run little pilot, but it's a pilot. So my thought is what we're going to do, we're unveiling. Because a while back I was talking to Benoit, and he was rushing off to go he does like wine competitions where different wine distributors bring their wines, and he's the judge, and they do things like that. And then he goes to these wine tastings, and a lot of these places are like $1,000. People pay $1,000 to go to these wine tastings. They have a little foodie thing, and they taste wines. And I was like, So the plan right now is we're going to try to do we have 12 seats in Donkey Cafe. It's going to be $500 donation for a seat in Donkey Cafe. And you'll get the same menu that we just fed, although it needs to change because it can't have any raw vegetables or salad or anything like that, because I don't want people to get sick. So, but we're going to do kind of a very similar menu. And my friend Christine is gonna coordinate the first group. But in addition to like pulling these people, so the first group's coming, they're 12 people. They're not paying for their dinners. Christine's gonna pay for the meals and all the expenses, but they're not paying for their dinners because they're good candidates, and they're interested in Goldy's farm, and they're good candidates to be high donors. So we're gonna bring that in, and we're gonna have our second pilot using white tablecloths, and it's going to be set up for a wine tasting, and then we're going to bring the wine, and then the next one will be an actual people I've never met before. I'm going to put it up, as something you can do in Boston is you can go to Goldy's farm and have a wine tasting on the farm, and we can have the goats. It's very similar, like make it a little farmy, and they can come. We have 12 seats, and they're $500 a seat. That's my idea. So that would mean if we can do one of those, now we can't do it in the winter, obviously, in the cold weather, but if we could do one of those every month, run those numbers, and that would give us a baseline of, so we won't be, because like every month, I feel like the money that comes in, it goes right out. We don't have a buffer, like the buffer to get Percy castrated was, it pretty much that was a struggle, because we have we're going to start having hay costs again, and the hay costs, I think we're good because we have that. Yes, the hay costs, but we have a lot of costs. We don't have any if Larky got sick, or we don't have a buffer anymore. But I'd like to build up a buffer, and I'd like to be more comfortable with running an organization and be able to maybe hire some more people, because as we've got the Salem 5 thing hanging over our head too. So we can expand a little bit more. Yes, it's $6,000 per event. That would be really nice. And there are also people that if they come to the farm and they see what we do and they learn more about us, then that would be good for us too. So, and it's different. I've written a lot. I've written 7 grants now. You know how many grants I've won? 0. We've got the numbers. We've got the, but we're a new organization, and I don't feel like it's working out that well for us. So I'm trying to open up to some good new ideas. So that's my latest one. So we're going to be cleaning up Donkey Cafe over the next, you'll see us working in Donkey Cafe, making it like ridiculously. I talked to Elizabeth about flowers that we would put on rolling carts that we could roll in and set up. And Christine's gonna be looking on Marketplace to buy some nice proper cutlery. She has a bunch already. And so that's our new fundraising idea. You guys put that into your put comments in there if you like it, don't like it, or have any other ideas. But that's where we're at. Okay, so Percy Pig is the last topic. Percy Pig, great. He's doing really well. The problem with Percy Pig, I've known Percy Pig since he was 12 weeks old, and he's like he was a horny teenager, and he does have a angry pig side. It's not a dangerous angry pig side. He's a pig, but he gets very, very, very angry, and he throws a temper tantrum. The rest of the time, he's perfect. But I don't like the temper tantrums. So when Carlene says that he's perfect, most of the time he's really good until he's not. And he was really, really bad, starting to be much worse than. And if you Google a full intact male pig, it's a little sad. They do get very. People have warned me since he was 12 weeks old that I needed to get him castrated, or he would get human aggressive. But not like in a year he's like, you got to get that fixed. You got to get that fixed. And everybody was saying, just, get a farmer to do it. But of course, that whole story. But anyways, he did get castrated, and he is now a gelding. The castration was not successful the first try because he doesn't like shots. And I know he doesn't like shots. I tried to warn them, like, you got to wear headphones when you try to give him his anesthesia or any tranquilizers or anything, because it really, he's loud. So they had three vets that were trying to give him tranquilizer behind his ear. They had to hold him down, and he was screaming like he does. And they got in the first one, and that should have knocked him out. But of course, the adrenaline and the balanced out the tranquilizer, so it had no effect. So they gave him a second one, and again, it had no effect. They gave him a third one. He was still not ready to even begin the whole process of anesthesia. And if they gave him a fourth one, it was too dangerous, and they would have killed him. So what they wanted to do was they wanted me to come pick him up, take him home, work with him, give him some oral medications every day to get him to calm down and do a little training. I'm like, there's no way that you're ever going to train Percy to be a good boy when you give him a shot. He hates it. I've given him, he's got his rabies, he's got a bunch of vaccines, he's got a microchip in him, and every single time he's been so loud, and he's big and strong now, so he takes a couple people. So I said, you guys keep him. You've got 3 vets. Hold him down. Get it done, because I'm not coming to pick him up. And I'm like, if they can't get this done, I've called every vet in the area, and the vets are like, nope, we don't do pigs. No, you got a bat. No, you're going to have to put that pig down when he gets to be a year old. And I'm like, they're like, he's going to get so bad that And so I begged them, like I can beg, and they gave it another try, and they gave him oral medication at night, which calmed him down. They hit him in the morning with 2 tranquilizers, and they were able to do the procedure. Can I tell you, last Friday, I was so on edge, worried that they weren't going to be successful, but they were. I went to pick him up. He's been really good ever since. He still has his little anger moments, but so the conflict with what he does is the door. When you open the door to the cage, he's supposed to stand there and wait while we put the lead rope on and then get him. Sometimes he tries to run through me or Justin. He knows not to. He's very smart. He knows not to run through me. He knows not to give me any hassle at all. He stands there. I put the thing on him. I take him out. He knows when my mother's there. She just opens it and he runs out because she put cookies out, and she throws cookies outside. So he just runs out to get the cookies. He knows that Bella is not an alpha dog type, so he kind of thinks in his mind that she's a pushover. So he just wants to. He was aggressive with her. at one point before he was castrated. And Justin, I think he understands that Justin is just too nice. And Justin's a weak link. So he's been giving Justin a hard time. And Justin just yells at him. And I'm like, no, you got to put the lead rope around his neck. And when he gets loud, not that I'm a pig trainer or an anything trainer, but this has seemed to be working for me since I've had him for so long. And I put one of those ropes, those fantastic ropes that Carlene makes, around his neck. And when he starts to be bad, you just pull it straight up. And it tightens around his neck. And then he knows, he's like, because when he was little, I'd pull it straight up and pull the front end off the ground. And he'd be, and then when he was good, I'd drop him back down. I'm like, no, that's what we're going to do. You're going to be a good boy. And so Justin's trying to work on that. But he's not like a dog. I've noticed this. Now, I have no experience training. I don't want to call myself a dog trainer, or I'm a nothing trainer. You look at Wanda. If you ask Wanda to sit down, she won't. Not unless she wants to sit down. I'm not a good, she doesn't do. But I learned how to work with these animals and get them to do what I want them to do in nursing homes. But I've never trained an agility dog or anything like that. So I'm just training these animals. And Percy does the job in a nursing home perfectly. Perfectly. He wanders around. He knows that people, if he goes close to people, they'll scratch his back. He's all about Percy. He's not like dogs will do things to please a human. Percy does things because you'll scratch him and he'll get a treat. That's what motivates the pig. So you got to step back a minute and treat him like a pig. And this, in my opinion, I'm not, and he understands, that he's going to understand punishment. Yelling at him, it doesn't bother him at all to get yelled at. But now that he knows that I will lift him up, I yell at him first, like, you're in trouble, Percy, you're a bad pig. And then if he still is, then I just do the lift up. And now I don't even have to lift up the front. Well, thank God, because he's really heavy. He's getting longer and bigger and heavier. I can still lift up the front if he's really being bad. But so I just yell at it and I just jerk up and tell him that I'm going to do that. And he's like, oh, right, it's Janine and she means it. But you can't be halfway. You have to be, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lift you up in the front. If you're going to act like a crying 2-year-old and throwing your little tantrum. It's awfully cute when he does it though. He's like, if you're going to act like that, then I'm like, no, Percy. And then I pull him up. So now I can just say, no, Percy, and he knows. Like when I bring him out to the ducks, he used to like go into his. I'd open the gate and he'd want to just run and go eat the duck food, which I removed before I put him out there because he's not supposed to eat duck food. But he likes to go eat. They make a mess, and he likes to eat the crumbs. You got to really think like a pig. So I get him up, and he starts spinning around, and I couldn't get the rope off his neck. But so I'd pick him up. I'm like, no, Percy, stand still. Wait. And now I go out there and it's just one wait and he stands there and I undo it and then he runs away. So, I have a lot of hope for Percy. We just have to, my mother would like to train him and I think it's very reasonable. He likes my mother and he's good for my mother, but she's not dealing with him when he's in his rage. I don't let her deal with him when if he's rageful. I can, believe it or not, because I live right above her. Yay me, at 61 years old, I'm living above my mother. But I do have my own house in South Carolina, by the way. So it's not like I'm living here of choice. And necessity. So it's not like, but right above my mother, I listen to that Andre, whatever music, and 24 hours a day, really loud. I call it the Oompa Loompa music because she has the TV volume at 100, so there's always the Oompa Loompa music going on. But when she's having problems with Percy, even if it's in the middle of the night and I hear him going into that, I'm out of bed downstairs and I'm like, no, and because I worry that he will do something. But he seems to understand that he's not to push her over. He doesn't challenge her. Like sometimes when he comes out of the crate and he wants to go and check, he likes to go in and check the dog dishes to see if they dropped any food. And I'm like, no, you're going to go outside. And he goes right up against my feet and pushes my feet. And I stomp my feet. And I'm like, no, go that way. And he goes that way. But he doesn't challenge my mother like that. So, yeah. So I know a lot of people are worried. I guess my mother put something in the doggy daily that the pig's not getting trained and he's being aggressive. And no, it's a very loud temper tantrum. But he's not biting and doing bad things to people. He's just making a lot of noise. A lot of noise. I can put a video. I can show you a video. I don't even want to put it up where Justin and Brian Parrott, the vet, had to give him a shot. So he's really loud. He's really loud. I mean, take a baby crying and multiply it by like 500, and that's how loud he is. So that's all I got for this week. So yeah, we are going to be working on this new, hopefully, life-sustaining project of the Donkey Cafe, and if we can build up a buffer over the next couple months, then that will release a little bit of the pressure on the Henny Penny, because I know that some that it's a stretch, and I really appreciate for all the support that everybody gives us, and you're keeping us alive for quite a long time. We're doing our best to keep the costs down and just keep charging forward, but the demand for what we do is increasing, and I can't possibly keep up this pace, because as many of you know, I'm old too, and but the group in South Carolina is outgoing, and we could do more if we had more. So let's keep our fingers crossed that you guys will continue to support us, and the wine tasting will also be lucrative in the future. So and any other ideas you feel like we should be investigating, but I feel like the path of going down the grants has not been as beneficial, only because I think everybody's, we're just another nonprofit trying to get money, but people don't recognize really how fantastic we are, because they look at us, they're like, oh yeah, they bring animals to nursing homes, but they don't realize we bring animals, like lots of different animals, and we are so beneficial to everyone we meet. And it's, I try to put that in the paperwork, but, it's a lot of it's AI generated, so we just get put into a bucket. But wine tasting is kind of unique, so we're going to try it. All right. I think that Isaiah is still here. He had the day off today, and also Justin has the day off today. We're just having we're having a day off. They're having a day off. I got to go down and she's unfortunately going to have to have dinner, like eat what I got her. I got her a Caesar salad with chicken, so it's not going to be fabulous because Justin cooks her fabulous food, but that's what she has for dinner. She had soup for lunch. I'm on it. Swept the dog. I got to go down and feed the dogs now. So everything is good, and everyone just pray that Chester keeps himself in the paddock, and Sunshine too. And I'll see you next Wednesday, tomorrow. Oh, they're going to open mail on Friday, because I know we have a bunch of mail. Someone reached out to me about a box, which I know now it's right in front of this house right here, and they're going to open that on Friday. I know we're running out of dog treats. I was running around and I could only find 2 half-full things of dog treats, and we use a lot. We go through a lot of those. And I think we got a lot of horse treats. And always pea flakes, because I tried making pea flakes for the bunnies out of real peas. They didn't like it. They like the pea flakes, and the chickens do too. So always pea flakes. If you ever wanted to send us anything, send us a little thing of pea flakes. Make the bunnies happy. Okay, so see you guys all next week, and have a great rest of the week. Good night.